Welcome to our ERPAL for Service Provider screencast. In this screencast, I want to show you how you can install ERPAL on your server or on your local development environment. For the first step, you need to visit drupal.org/project/ERPAL. This is the project page on drupal.org where the development happens. You can just read all the information about what ERPAL can do for service providers, what are the detailed features, how to get involved and to contribute to ERPAL, and, very important for the installation, to check the system requirements. So first of all, it is important that you run your Apache web server with a PHP version greater or equal than 5.3. It is also important that you have a PHP memory limit set to at least 128 megabyte. The PHP max execution time should be bigger or equal than 120 seconds. This is because during the installation process some heavy database operations are executed and they need at least 120 seconds of execution time in PHP. Of course, this depends heavily on how fast your processor runs and if you have an SSD hard drive and on your general system requirements. For example, if you run your environment in a virtual machine or if it is a complete performant hardware system. Then you need to ensure that your MySQL max allowed package size is 20 megabytes. This is only required during the installation process. After the installation completed, you may reduce it again to 5 megabytes. And it is recommended to have module write enabled so that you have clean URLs instead of the Drupal default URLs. If you want to download ERPAL, just scroll down and you will see two downloads. The first one is the latest stable release. Currently it's beta 5, but in a few days this will be the first release, so it will be written 7.x-2.0. The development version is the snapshot of our current development. That means all fixed issues and all improvements are already included there and they will be included in the next release. For your productive environment, it's recommended to use the latest stable version. But also the development release is always kept without bugs and stable. The zip ball of the development version or the target ball of the development version. You will always see the latest state of our update, and so you can be pretty sure that you pick the latest version. Let's start with downloading ERPAL. Just click on the zip file link and ERPAL will start to download. While the download runs, we can prepare our MySQL database. ERPAL runs on a normal LAMP stack. That means you should have installed Linux, MySQL as a database, PHP, and an Apache web server. And if you want to install ERPAL, you should first create a new directory or folder on your HTTP docs folder. In our case and in most Linux installations it's var www, and I created a subfolder ERPAL_install. So if you want to access this installation, this will happen with the IP and then the folder. Of course, you can create a virtual host that lets you redirect or access the installation with a complete domain name or with a subdomain name, so you don't need the IP and the subfolder. This is only for demonstration in my local development environment. So let's log in to MySQL and create a new database. If you have access to a graphical UI of your MySQL server, for example with PHP MyAdmin or with HeidiSQL, you are welcome to add a new database just using this graphical UI. But in our case, we will do it using the PuTTY console. It's easy done. We just create a new database and name it ERPAL_install, and that's it. The database has been created. We move back to our folder and place the extracted files of the downloaded zip directory directly into our folder. So let's open this folder. You see it's the same IP as in our browser, and we opened our folder where we want to place the installation files inside. So let's open and copy. Once you have placed your files in your Apache folder, or in our case in a subfolder ERPAL_install, if you reload your browser, you will see the first page of the ERPAL installation process. This installation process will guide you through each step and request you to input data, for example your contact data, and during each step ERPAL will set up basic information and create basic entities and basic data so that you can immediately start working with ERPAL without any other configuration or installation of other modules or software. In the first step, just click Install ERPAL. In the next step, you can choose a language if there are more languages available. Right at this time, ERPAL is only available in the English built-in language. In a couple of months, there will be other languages available that have been contributed by the community, for example, German or French. Just click the Save and Continue button, and in the next step, you have to enter your database credentials. It is the database name, and you should enter a username. And if there is a password, what I highly recommend, you should also enter the password here. In our case, it's only a demo installation, so no password is set for the MySQL server. Click Save and Continue for the next steps, and ERPAL will verify your database settings. If there are some settings that don't match the requirements of the installation process, ERPAL will show you a message that it can try to change the settings by itself, or it will show you the settings that you need to change to match the installation requirements. Click Continue, and in the following selection, you can check the installation method you want to choose. If you want to start working with ERPAL, we recommend to select the quick installation. The quick installation process will install ERPAL from a database dump, and this is the fastest installation method that is available. Demo installation is the installation method you have to choose if you just want to test ERPAL to match your requirements. It will be installed, including some demo content where you can see how ERPAL works and how you can add the data to work with your processes. And the standard installation process is a rather slower process where all the installation steps are run by each other, and where ERPAL installation will be set up completely new. So I recommend to start with the quick installation if you want to start working with ERPAL. Click Save and Continue, and this will run the installation process in a batch operation. This is pretty fast compared to the normal installation process. So after a few seconds, it depends heavily on your system environment of your server. You will be able to set the configuration of your site. So in site name, you can enter whatever name you want to give to your ERPAL installation. Here you can add just any kind of email. The username, you can pick a username that you want. Please choose a secure password. In our case, it's only admin, and this is why the password strength is set to weak. If you add some other signs here, then it will become strong. This path is the path where the private files that are not accessible if a user is not logged in into ERPAL are stored. You don't need to change this path, or if you want to place all your private files of ERPAL in a completely different folder that is not a subfolder of your document root, then you can change the setting here. After all settings have been done, click Save and Continue. Now ERPAL will start to clear the internal cache and process some other configuration steps. This will only take a very short while, and after these steps you will be able to enter your company information. This is the company where you are situated. This is the company you want to work with ERPAL. You can enter a currency. In our country it's euro, a default tax rate that will be added to every revenue that you create. And you can enter a tax name. This can be a VAT tax or a sales tax, and enter a phone number and an email address of your company. Click Save and Continue. And in the next steps, ERPAL will continue to prepare some final administration tasks. And after these tasks, ERPAL is ready to use. So after ERPAL has been installed, I want to show you how you can use the online help system. We integrated an online help system that you can use. So this system will explain each page, and it will show you which tasks you can manage with this page and how you can use it, and also how this page integrates into the whole application of ERPAL. Now as the installation process is completed, just click View your new site. And here you go. This is your new and clean ERPAL installation. If you have chosen the demo installation during the installation process, ERPAL will already be filled with some demo content that will show you how to work with ERPAL. Now, if you have some questions, you can just ask ERPAL to show you what you can achieve with this current page. With the online help, you always get a short explanation and a link to a video that will show you how to use this page and how to start working with ERPAL from this page that you are currently visiting. Every page that you visit, you will see the same help icon, but if you click to this icon, you will see different content. This is contextual content that explains the functionality of the page that you are currently visiting. As a next step, I recommend to view the ERPAL configuration screencast. In this screencast, I will show you how you can configure and customize your ERPAL installation so that it matches all your individual requirements. Thanks for your time and for listening to our screencast. Hopefully to see you in our next screencast for ERPAL for service providers.